You're listening to Kol Yisrael, the voice of Israel, broadcasting from Jerusalem. Is this ironic? Not too long ago, it was on the Knesset's agenda to make sure that supervision is tight enough to prevent the wrong people from having guns. Now there is increased support, we are told, for increasing the number of armed Israelis to quickly respond to terrorist attacks. Likud Knesset member Amir Ohana heads a new caucus group in the Knesset on setting up a policy on who can carry guns. The caucus held its first meeting yesterday. This is our special report for today, this interview with the head of this new caucus on setting up a policy on who can carry guns in Israel, the head of the caucus, Likud Knesset member Amir Ohana.
As it is, the vast majority of Israelis cannot carry firearms. Actually, the numbers are between 2 to 4%.
Why are they not allowed to carry firearms? What restrictions?
Because the criteria are very, very strict. And I think we should examine the possibility to make them less stiff, and this is what I'm trying to do. I think people who have no criminal records, who have no psychiatric or medical reason to not carry firearms, and mainly who served in the reserve army, which means the state gives them automatic weapon for 30 days a year, should be able to carry firearms and the rest of the year, as long as I said, they have no criminal records.
Right. Now, it's interesting because not too long ago, I can recall that in the Knesset, there was an effort underway to make sure that the guidelines, that the restrictions are tight enough, that we had certain cases of either violence within the family or just criminal violence on the streets that led the Knesset to try to check whether these guidelines are tight enough. Now you're saying, I think it's because of the wave of terrorism that we've had recently, where we want people to be able to respond. Is that the reason why there is this shift right now?
First, we must remember that the terror so-called wave has not begun 4 months ago. We experienced that since the establishment of the State of Israel, and even before. Not too many people know, but at August 1929, a gunshot fired from the handgun of Aaron Fisher, has stopped the riot from the mosque, from Al-Aqsa Mosque, to go into Mea Shearim in Jerusalem. And
so even then you're saying the average civilian having a gun is something which can help prevent terrorism, whether it be many decades ago or today?
Sure, we must realize we cannot have a squad team in every street corner. And we realize that. We accept it. Otherwise, we cannot do anything except security. But having more handguns, and I'm saying more, I'm not saying to all, we just need some more handguns in the hands of trained, well-trained, law-keeping civilians will make us not only safer, but will make us feel safer, us Israelis. And, terror wins not only, wins or loses, not only by the number of casualties they can bring, but by the feeling of fear or not feeling fear to the civilians.
But again, Knesset member Ohana, are you confident that the supervision that exists in Israel is good enough that we can be sure that people who don't have these criminal or psychiatric issues don't get guns?
We can never be 100% sure, of course. But as it is, I think we should be able to protect ourselves, to defend ourselves more than we do right now, because we're not talking about theoretical or a hypothetical subject. We're talking about people being stabbed almost daily in Israel. And we need, as a government, as a state, we need to give them the option, the possibility to defend themselves.
You are, as we said, a Likud Knesset member in the government, and of course, Public Security Minister Gilad Erdan, in charge of the police and in charge of these kinds of issues, is a member of the Likud in the government cabinet. Do you have his cooperation? Does he support the activities of this new caucus group that you have formed?
Yes, actually, he attended yesterday to the opening of the caucus, and he speaks very clearly about supporting this idea, this notion, and he actually himself eased a bit the restrictions just recently. So I think we have good cooperation between the minister and ourselves as MKs, and all for the benefit of the safety of the citizens of Israel.
Likud Knesset member Amir Ohana, who heads that new caucus group in the Knesset on setting up a policy on who can carry guns.